Hello, everybody, and welcome to a very special episode, I would say, of Scheduling Conflicts. Previously, the only actual play stream that plays when other streams are canceled. Something I just found out is not true. I have found not one but two other people that stream when they cancel streams, and I'm so upset. So I can continue to say, however, our old standby, because it has no technical definition according to the Better Business Bureau. This is the only luxury TTRPG stream because there's no technical definition. So, what is it that we are doing today? We are going to be playing Resonance, a one-page RPG about a group of players piloting a mech together. We built this on our DM Writer's Room stream. Through that whole process, I think it only took us the one session. We talked a little bit about how we were continuing to work on it, and now it is ready for us to play, and you can find it on itch.io. We're foolhardy press on there, right?
Yes.
So check us out on itch.io. If you end up liking the look of the game today, you can go buy it and play it. This is kind of a nice full circle. We might have to make a little playlist, give that like immediate one-to-one on YouTube for people checking out the VOD. So how does the game Resonance work? Well, hi, my name is Ethan, and I will be the Intelligence. That is the name of the game master for this game. I will be narrating what happens, and I have the background for what the players are going to be interacting with. And these, my wonderful players, are going to be playing the various pilots of the mech Voltron style. So they are in one mech, and each of them has a different role within it. We are going to be running a combat, which means we are going to try to get 10 successful turns before we get 10 failures. The system is pretty simple. On each turn, one of the players explains what they are doing to win the fight. Then I roll a die. I roll 1d6, and the players all roll, and they all need to be within one number of that result. They have a bunch of abilities. There's a few other things that can influence it. I don't want to get too bogged down in explaining the rules for what is supposed to be a pretty one-to-one stream. So I will encourage, if you have any questions as we're continuing, this is to my players here, feel free to ask. I really don't mind looking down over it, and we can try to get some of this out there. I'm going to start by introducing the situation where you are, and then I'm going to ask you all to tell me one fact about the mech and one fact about your pilot's chair, this area of the mech that you are kind of in charge of and control. Welcome to the Steel Tournament, a mech and metal showdown in the illegal robo-fighting rings of the deep underworld. You have fought your way through 9 grueling and brutal rounds. There was a whole anime arc we didn't see where people tried to sabotage you. The stakes are high. There's probably some other weird stuff going on in the background. One of you has a pet now. We're having a great time. You are about to square up with the current champion of the tournament, a massive military mech called Ares 8. The music cut right when I said the name. That's honestly kind of hilarious. So I'm going to ask each of you as we go around here to say what your station is, and then to give me one detail about the mech and one detail about sort of your pilot seat within it. Who wants to go first?
Okay, I'll give a detail about the mech first. And it's that the mech is specialized in 2 areas, and it is all about strength, brute force. It has these clamps that lock down into the ground to keep it in place because of its anti-tank weaponry, like a large rocket launcher, heavy machine guns. That's what it specializes in. So not only is it fully equipped with armaments, but it's able to withstand blows because of it.
All right, so that's your detail about the mech, and I think we can all assume this, but so your station then is the gunner.
The gunner, yes. And the specific about my chair is that it is built like, you know the like Superman ride in Six Flags where you lay down on the ride instead of sitting up.
Yeah.
It's like that with joystick controls for
you're
aiming
full,
the guns.
So what is it? You're like Batman Dark Knight, like down into the front of the ship. All right, very, very cool, very cool. Okay, who's up next?
I'll go.
All right, cool.
my station is the hacker, and for the mech too, like on like kind of like the back of the shoulders, there's these like various like sort of like pod-like structures that are all segmented, and for like various like drones and stuff that we can deploy. And in his kind of like station seat area, there's like 3 divisions of screens and like various like kind of like controls and joysticks and stuff for like manipulating a bunch of different things. And like lots of like very silver kind of glowing like circuit kind of like stuff like running from like bit to bit.
Real classic 80s movie hacker core. We cut into the scene and we see you like typing on a computer, just Matrix style, things coming up and down on computers. All right, we got 2 players left. Who's next?
I'll go. So I have the muscle. The part that I bring into the looks is all along the arms, almost like tattoos, are neon old Western saloon signs and stuff.
That's incredible.
And in my own little cockpit, it is old Western minibar.
Hilarious.
The mech is definitely called like the honky tonk or something.
Oh, we can't. We simply can't. It's too good. All right, cool. Nicole.
All right, so my role is the engineer, and a fact about the mech is that it takes in pieces of other mechs that it has defeated and uses that to improve and to use for their next fight. So in this fight, we have had, in my like station room, I've got the workings of 9 mechs, fallen pieces off for me to play around with in the back. So I guess that's also kind of a fact about my station. But the other fact about my station is all my little goofs and gags that I'll be doing are kind of organized by song. Like I'll press a song on a playlist and that is how the effect will happen.
Too good.
Whether or not that plays out loud to everyone else or just in my station, it's up to you.
Definitely to everyone.
It does, and we've tried to turn it off and we can't.
The fact though, because you're going to be doing one of these things every like 8 seconds, the fact that it's like what was it called? There used to be something you could buy, this like terrible little MP3 player. And it would play like 4 seconds of a very popular song.
You put in the like little chip and it would play like 10 seconds.
And it would play like just the chorus of really popular songs and nothing else.
I'm gonna say it's very similar to that, especially with all the pieces. Like I insert a piece and it just plays that song.
You got like a chip tune in there.
Oh yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, every time we try to disable it, you're the engineer, you just turn it back on.
Yeah, you guys think it doesn't work, but actually I'm just fixing it.
You know what it is? It's like how there's the closing door button on most elevators is fake. It's just there to make you feel better. Like they don't actually work like 80%. That's real. You can look that up. Most of them are fake. So I love that you have put like a big obvious button in each room that doesn't work so that they don't find the real button that would work to mute the music. Okay, cool. I love it. All right, so that is where we're going to kick things off as we are looking down into this massive stadium. Because we are all at kind of mech height, for a minute it looks normal until you see the small stick figure of people in the crowds cheering loud behind these thick, reinforced plexiglass walls that defend them with this like glowing force field in front of it to keep anything from smashing through and destroying anybody. We see first this massive set of metal doors opens and Ares 8 rolls out. We see these big shoulder-mounted, like, square missile launchers. Big, sturdy construction. A mech that is clearly meant to be, like, on the battlefield somewhere. It's like black and gray camouflage pattern down its entire front. It is the mech equivalent of a Cybertruck, just rolling out ugly, not very practical, very strange sort of display. And in the other corner, as the door opens, we see this like Neon Genesis Evangelion style steam, like out of the bottom spilling out. And emerging first, we just see bright glowing neon tube light colors as this mech emerges. A hodgepodge of this base made for siege weaponry, made to drill itself into the ground and fire this massive, like, shoulder-mounted cannon meant to punch through armor, that has been augmented with parts and pieces from the 9 other mechs from this tournament and countless other bits of scraps, odds, and ends from dozens of other fights. It is highlighted with these neon tattoos, and on the back, it almost has what looks like a big backpack on that is this drone facility that can like pump, send things out during the fight. All right, as the two of you square up off in the distance, you can hear incredibly muffled through the force field and glass. You just hear like, "Ladies and gentlemen, it is time to begin." Like you hear people betting and like people like slapping down, and like you can see odds on a big screen up above on like a jumbotron, or like quickly changing every time your mechs do something. The two mechs are like prowling around the outside, sending the ground shaking with each step, because they are both these massive Herculean mechs. And I will ask, who makes the first move in this game of Resonance?
The gunner instantly hits the button to clamp the feet down, yanks a massive RPG off of the back, and arms it to fire as he lines up with the opposing mech.
So
the ugly-ass Tesla mech.
As you're hearing this, like, muffled sounds coming from the next room, you eventually hear, "And let's get ready to rumble!" As we see this, before he can even finish the word rumble, the gunner leaps into action. The mech pulls this gun around and fires. I will set the drift. So, I am rolling. I got a 3 is the drift. So everybody is trying to roll within 1 of the drift, except for Spencer. He's the gunner, and he described an action related to it, so he needs to be within 2. Who hit and who missed? We have a miss.
Hit.
Hit.
A hit.
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 Hit. That's a success. Before Ares 8 can react, you see Ares 8 has turned to raise its hands to the audience just in time for them to hear the... This missile fires across the space, blasts into Ares 8 back, and sends it flying forwards into the concrete barrier. It slams into it, sending it shattering down, and you immediately see all of that, like, force shield glitches all the way up right away, and a couple people like start turning and moving to other areas to sit, afraid that the plexiglass is going to shatter. Who's up next?
You hear over the comms, "All right, my job's done. Good luck, everybody else."
All right, good targeting. I'll send out the drones so we can get some cover.
All right, cool.
And so, like, a couple of the drones will fly out. A couple of them will drill into the other mech as they like zip through the arena and start like working into with the mech's interference. As a couple others start displaying a couple of like hologram illusions of our mech. So there's like a couple of them there.
Oh, great!
And I'm trying to like confuse its systems to make it like not determine which one's the real one.
So because the mech had to like screw itself into the ground to fire that gun, you can't run, and so instead we see this drones flying up out of the pack, swirling around. A few of them immediately. We see like little lasers starting to cut panels and open, and them starting to like rip with little claws wires out of Ares 8, while suddenly a few others, we see these like, they start as simple like line projections that then look solid, as there's like 4 of you in a row standing aside as Ares 8 whirls around, setting its own missiles out pointed at you all. I will roll to set the drift. It's another 3. You guys have good luck so far. So remember, they need to be within 1 or 2. So if I roll middle numbers, it's good. If I roll edge cases, it's bad, because 1 does not wrap around to 6. All right.
That's a miss.
Miss?
Miss.
Miss?
Miss here too.
Miss.
Oh, I hit.
Ooh,
Hit.
One
All right.
hit.
So that's going to be a fail. Does anybody have an ability that is relevant to what we are doing here now? So the gunner can treat sixes as any other number. The engineer can just create a success in a pinch, but it has some consequences. And the hacker could get me to reroll, but that wouldn't be very helpful in this moment.
If we can get one more success, I'll burn my ability because I rolled a 6, so I can change mine to be a hit. Does anybody else have anything that
I
they
can
could
also
burn?
try. I can take my turn and try to do something else, and then we can do that like the next time. So I can use my turn to kind of deflect from the way that we look this time. Like use a little like camouflage situation instead of the like holograms, and then we can do that next time.
I think it's still worth us burning the resource
Okay.
because we've already made it through a couple of turns, at least one success. And then we can still utilize that on the next round. So I'm going to change mine. If somebody else can make something into a success,
Oh,
that'll
did you
be
roll
3
a 6
successes.
as well?
I rolled a 6, yeah.
Ah,
And
same
I
here.
can change in a failed roll into a success.
Okay, so you can choose one of the other combatants for it.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's because then we'll have 3, right?
Okay, so we watch these two things happen in very quick succession. One, we see the engineer, you activate some like camouflaging thing on the mech, and we see it like get covered in this different, it starts, what's it called, it's a like light refraction where all of a sudden you are seeing what is behind the mech, and it breaks the contact of whatever those missiles are. They fire off in all these directions, but a few of them are still on target. Spencer, how does the gunner's ability sort of sit, how do you tie into this?
The gunner is in sort of a cooldown as the big weapon's being tucked back away. So he uses the offhand and points the gun straight down into the mech's clamps and fires at them, and they pop open so he can move to the side slightly. Also opening us up for the muscle to get some combat in. So just shot our feet free.
Awesome. Okay, totally. As all of that goes off, you manage to shoot your feet free and dodge out of the way of those last few missiles. They strike into the wall as Ares 8 gets low and starts to sprint across the space, trying to close the gap because you have the advantage at range. So who wants to go up next for their turn? It's Michael and Nicole are left.
Okay.
All right, Michael.
Yeah, it is. All right, everyone, ready for combat. And we sprint in.
So you just go in for this, the muscle swinging forward, let's go, and the two mechs like both leap into melee combat with one another.
Oh yeah, that right fist is going for a haymaker.
All right, cool. I've rolled a 1.
Not the best roll.
Hit. When? Okay, we got a hit.
Hit.
Hit. Whoa!
That's a miss
Let's-
here.
Miss, all right, that's
Oh,
fine.
3 hits.
So we see as you begin sprinting, you caught in a moment. Stefan's character, the hacker, was like reaching up to pull one of the return levers for the drones and is sent like up out of his seat and back down into the metal as you start to like slug it out with this other mech, throwing punches and things as you are like staying low and swinging around. It is these two heavyweight champions literally just duking it out in the middle of the circle. The crowd is losing their minds. All right.
And I'm going to pop my ability.
All right, and you're going for a couple of extra successes.
Yeah, so the muscles ability, when you get a success, you can chain it into
You
another.
try to chain multiple
Yes,
without
you
earning any
explode.
failures.
Yes. All right, guys. Combo time.
All right, so it's just
There's a big slot that I pull down, and it like a lucky sevens pop up for the
That's so
combo.
funny. Oh, and it's like the
And,
neon on the back starts to spin so that the crowd can watch. All right.
Yeah, and with that, after the haymaker, that left foot stomps down and latches into the ground to go into like a just full-on structure hit.
All right, cool. That is a 4 for the drift. And so remember,
Hits.
yeah, so Michael, you're within 2, everybody else is within 1. So we got a hit.
Hit.
Miss.
Hit.
Yeah. Miss hit. Oh my goodness, it's gonna be a
3
short
hits.
game.
We're going crazy.
You guys are rolling crazy. Yes, you watch as you stomp down into Ares 8's foot, and then those drills push that foot down into the ground and clamp into the stone. It's trying to pull up but can't as you like give this like impossible uppercut and send it bending backwards with a hail of sparks that fly up into the sky, like those shampoo commercials where people flip their hair up in the water, like perfectly goes around. There is this spiral of sparks that fires up. All right, cool.
The front row of people start like
And-
batting at their clothes to put out the bits of sparks.
It's too good. It's just too good. Are you going for another?
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Half
Let's
chain
go.
complete. Let's see if we can finish and bring him down to earth.
Oh my goodness. Oh, I forgot how the game. I was like, are you gonna roll?
You're
or
so
not?
deep into it, into the narrative.
Rolled a 6. That's a bad one.
Hit.
Hit.
Miss.
Miss. So that's a fail, right?
All right, that's our finally. I mean, one was
All right.
well, no,
Yeah, that's a
because
fail.
we are
Well.
in the muscles chain. It doesn't count as a failure. As you go to
I will-
swing down over the top, you see Ares 8's a rocket built into the bottom of that foot, like launches off, kicks it up, and the knee of the mech swings up and knocks your arm off pace, and you both are sent spinning and stumbling back. Neither of you too injured from the fight, though. All right,
If
that was
anyone's
quite the
wondering.
Huh?
If anyone was wondering about that ability, it does have a long cooldown.
Yes, it has a longer cooldown than the others do. All righty. Okay. Engineer.
All right. As we're kind of getting out of the fray, like kind of backing away from this other mech, I think I'm going to play Blinded by the Light, and I'm going to switch those panels on the mech and refract a ton of light to blind everyone inside quickly so we can try and get away.
Absolutely. So you all hear just the middle clip of blinded by, and all of that light, all of those sensors that were reading the ground around, all of a sudden they all like, and the entire mech turns into a disco ball of tens of thousands of lumens of light pouring out in all directions. A bunch of the audience like covers their faces. A few that are like the fans of your mech, I think you could jokingly called it the honky tonk earlier, put on big sunglasses that they already had because they knew this would happen as this like light fills the area. Let's see if it works. The drift is a 4.
Miss.
Hit.
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 Miss.
Miss. Can anybody do anything? We're at the
I've
oh no, wait.
used my
I can-
abilities.
I guess I can use mine to have the intelligence re-roll, and we might, I guess, align things perhaps.
Yeah.
I can also
You used yours already, didn't
I
you?
did, and then I rolled the same the next time. The next time after I use my ability, I have to match the drift to succeed.
Oh,
and
nice.
I did.
Oh, so you would probably okay, so this is actually a question I have. I'm not sure. So
Yeah, what's the cooldown?
this is a really good one. No, that makes sense because well, yours is that
Okay.
you need to match. So for Stefan's ability, we've just run into a small confusion point. If Stefan says he wants to use it after everybody has rolled, do we just all re-roll?
I think yes. I think that makes sense.
Okay, cool.
You do a new check. But for Nicole's, I think that it doesn't respawn the ability until the end of the round still.
Oh, okay, so I can't use mine until.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
you're
still won't
just
be able to
about to
bring
get it
yours.
Okay.
at the end of the
Okay,
round.
got it.
Okay, cool. All right, so I will re-roll as Stefan uses his, and I guess everybody else will too. The new drift is a 3, another good one.
All right.
That
Yeah, and
was good.
So, yeah, so like some of the little drones on ours, I guess, will like kind of spin out, and they'll start like draining energy from the neon to like pump it out too.
Nice.
Oh, good stuff. The lights
All right.
dim a little bit, and it ups the reaction time on the mech.
Miss.
A miss?
Yeah.
Oh,
And
I also missed.
miss.
what was the roll again? The drift
3.
3.
3. Okay, that was
Oh wait, no, I hit. I hit. No.
Oh.
Yes, I hit. Sorry, I hit.
Okay.
I hit.
It's a miss from me.
and
Hit
Miss
from me.
from Stefan.
Now, Stefan, you know you can. Oh wait, you can be within 2.
For-
this
because
No,
this is
me.
Nicole's order.
Oh, all
Nicole,
right. So
yeah.
that is
That's
a
why
miss.
I thought I missed, but I
So
hit.
as
Yeah.
all of this light fills the arena, you look up just in time to see that some like protective lenses had shunk come down over the front faceplate of
Their
Ares
own
8.
audience sunglasses.
Ares 8, and so as you guys set this off and look forward, it's just in time to see Ares 8 sprinting across the space, rearing up, and you watch this like big piston eject out of the back of their arm. They slam it into the chest of your mech, and it fires in, and you are sent flying back, slamming into the wall just like they did earlier. Our first
The whole
fail.
crowd goes, ooh.
Ooh, yeah. And that is our first round. So everybody's abilities except for the muscles recharge, and you can use those again on this next round. Who wants to go first? As the crowd is starting to lose, the odds are going up and down. Right now, your odds of winning are way higher than, much to the surprise of everybody. You guys are quickly like outpacing the champ, Ares 8.
Yeah, I'll go next.
All right, cool.
Talk to Gunner, you're not the only one with range. Who's ready for that speedball special? And
no.
I just get a handful of the ground, basically a snowball of rock.
You pick up
And
one of these
just
stones
fuck
that has
it.
been blown out of the ground from earlier and just throw it across the space. The drift is a 1. So I think what I'm going to say then is, so it's a 1. So this would be a good time, Stefan, if you want to use it now or wait. This would be a good time to use your ability to get a different number on the die.
All right. So is it before we roll that I use my ability, or can I use it?
You can use it after, but this would be the moment because it's a 1,
Yeah.
which means your odds of success are the lowest they are ever going to be. 1s and 6s are bad for the hacker. It's up to you. Do you want to save it or do you want to use it now?
Well, I guess I'll see what our outcome is first.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I
First,
hit.
yeah.
Hit.
Miss.
Miss.
One hit.
Hit.
Here.
Hit direct.
Hit!
Wow.
Yeah, so did I.
Crazy work. Good job, everybody. Absolutely. So you all just watch this boulder across the space, flying through the air. It slams into Ares 8, sends it like skidding backwards as it looks back forward. All right, cool. And I still have that reroll sitting in my pocket. I need to remember to use that. I'll use that next
Can
time.
I go next?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I would like to take the rocket thing that they fired at us. I would like to take it and then put it into one of our guns to use.
Absolutely.
Often.
In the back, where we resheathed our RPG, the top of it, where it's top loaded, is just sitting out, still smoking. So you would grab it and shakunk, set it right in.
It slots in weirdly well and falls in, swings up and fires. All right, I'm gonna roll to set the drift. Another 1.
Miss.
Miss.
Direct hit.
Hit. Miss.
Wait, also the song that's playing is Shot Through the Heart, by the way.
Shot through the
Of
It's
course.
too good. It's simply too good.
And I hit.
Yeah. All right. So we have
So 2 hits,
too many
2
misses. But you're
misses.
still at a loss right now. Does anybody want to do anything about that?
Did anybody roll a 6 that could have that fixed?
I did,
for
yeah.
Champ? Then I will use my ability, and I'll remake your 6 into a hit.
Okay.
All right.
How does that manifest? How does the? Oh well, I accidentally narrated how it manifests. It fires out of the gunner's turret. Like you all of a sudden are like in the middle of trying to reload it, just in time to hear stomp. You turn and see that a shell has dropped into the channel for it. And you go, hey, swing it up and fire as it goes off. It spins across the space, slams into Ares 8, and sends it kind of toppling backwards.
Our
That is
turret-
another success.
Our turret has one of those, like the drill bits where you can put any drill bit in it and it'll work. Like it's
Yeah,
like
you
you're,
see it like twist wider and twist
It, like,
tighter.
It
Yeah.
has this like aperture and can. Oh, that's really fun. That's super cool. All right, I like it. I like it. Okay, cool. Who is up next? And then let me double check. What's the gunner? And Spencer, your turn. You can't get the related action bonus.
Yeah, I gotta get it within 1.
Okay.
All right. I think I'll send out some more drones now, and they'll actually like some of them will go onto the mech, and the others will like kind of like go to the border of the the force field and start like broadcasting, and I'm like going to be like trying to like hack into like their systems to basically cause their mech to like butt dial all of their like family, friends, and relatives. So like all the screens and stuff get like filled up with these like incoming calls.
So we just hear this
of, like, a
incredibly
personal
loud
nature.
dial-up noise, like on an old computer, as these drones fly to these different corners. A few of them, remember those ones that drilled into Ares 8, and they all start to just make like that, just like filling the area with that sound. I forgot how it worked again. All right, that is a 3. The drift is a 3.
Hit.
Miss.
Hit.
Hit.
Hit. All right,
Yeah!
I have to use it now because I haven't got to use it so far.
Okay.
I'm going to say Spencer, re-roll. I have this because Stefan used the hacker's ability last round.
Oh, they're reverse hacking our systems.
What was the drift again?
3.
3.
Miss.
Miss. So just as all of these things fire, you stop it. Just as all of these things fire out, you suddenly watch those drones that are hooked into Ares 8 like explode into fire, and you see these like little tiny critters, these like little engineering robots have started to flow over those broken panels and stitch them shut as they manage to destroy a couple of those drones. And you just see all of those calls start to like close out as they put Ares 8 into airplane mode and lose connection with all the calls. You fools! All right, cool.
Look at that! Look at that asshole hacking! Who's hack?
Who's left?
It's me.
All right.
Seeing that last tactic distract them long enough, the drones that are inside the mech, I look at a big red button and I go, and I slam the big red button and it explodes inside the chest of the other mech.
Oh, so as those little drones are being like torn apart and fighting off and smashing these smaller robots, they both just like explode, and that is still munitions. So, oh wait, but you won't get your drift bonus because you
No bonus.
don't have it on this one. No, the drift is a 5.
Miss.
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 Whoa!
Hit here.
Ooh.
Hit. All right.
Wow.
So I'm gonna ask, Stefan, do you want to pull the mulligan lever?
It's the end of turn. Might as well try for another.
All right, we're gonna
one.
re-roll. So as that ability goes to not work and you start to see countermeasures go off, we all watch Ares 8 like as you manage to forge a connection, typing away furiously. You're typing on a keyboard that's on the ceiling, like you're working through all of these things. I'm in. You put on little matrix sunglasses. All right, the new drift is a 1, unfortunately.
Oh no.
Maybe.
Miss.
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 Or missed
Hit.
too. I rolled a 6.
Miss,
oh,
miss, miss.
One hit.
Oh no, that is so. As you set these things off to explode, you watch as Ares 8 reaches up, grabs them, and throws them across the space, and they
Damn it.
blow up in your own face. Not able to turn it off, and that is the start of a new round. Good gravy. All right, cool. Michael, your ability recharges.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
There's some red lights flashing on our mech now because you've taken some damage, a few hits.
There's a couple of those like panel things. They're all in Nicole's in the engineer station. You're seeing this like holographic outlay of the mech, and you're starting to see like beep 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 beep, like flaring signals and parts turning red. All right, cool. Who's up first?
I guess I'll go then to try and fix that.
Okay, great. Yeah, it makes sense.
Take some of the pieces that I've got in the in the old storage bin. I'm gonna take all the pieces from our last 9 fights and then repair all the holes.
So we see a fun montage of other people's cabins and parts of the ship, and we just see Nicole's engineer in the background of your guys' areas with like a big bindle full of spare parts. Excuse me, sorry. But
Don't touch it!
Oh,
It's I want it. Don't touch it!
just like spraying out a thing, lighting a butane torch,
Let me move it back.
like re-soldering a panel back on. All right, cool.
And I picture like in the back like of my seat, like I can like hit my like little lever and I can like slide like on a ladder in a library and
We
like
hate
grab
to
the
see you
pieces
coming.
and then
It's so good. All right, awesome.
The Doppler effect of your music as it's playing too.
She's coming.
Shot through the heart. And swings around the other side. The drift is a 5.
This is playing Help by the Beatles.
Nice.
Oh, there you go. Help!
Hit.
I need some. That is actually as much of the Beatles as I can sing before we get taken down.
Just gone. So that's 2 hits.
Hit.
Wait, sorry, what was it?
The drift is a 5.
Yay, hit!
Hit.
Nice. Miss here.
Hit, miss. That's fine. That's a hit. All right, you guys are starting to really get the upper hand. Those betting numbers are changing up and down. Some people are starting to already get angry and throw stuff down at the ground. As you manage to pull the last bit of stuff on and attach the last thing, we see you plug 2 things in together just in time for the mech to regain control and dodge out of the way as Ares 8 fires that cannon and sends the wall behind you shaking under its effects. I'm so sorry, everybody.
It makes that sound.
I just
Wow.
absolutely slapped my mic arm. I'm getting too excited. For the record, that was
in the
your
metal heel.
7th success. So we are 3 away from getting the W on this one. All right, who's next?
The gunner sees an opening here. The enemy mech has lost the thread a bit because it's just staring at us. It's moved around towards the middle of the arena. The drones that were making mirror images, that's not the only thing that they do. They do have miniguns affixed to them as well. So I press a few more buttons, hit enter, and press down on my left joystick, and it goes zzz, all of the simulacrum mechs start shooting in at the same moment, targeted in on this one enemy.
All right, I like it. The drift is a 3.
Hit.
Miss.
Direct hit.
Hit, miss?
Miss.
Miss. Does anybody want to do anything
All
about it?
right.
I can change one.
Yeah, go ahead.
I can change Stefan's miss to a hit.
All right, cool.
Nice.
Stefan, your
Hits.
miss becomes a hit. All right, cool. That is another success. So just as this we see we hear all of those guns start to spin up, and then we see the big broken network connection, the wire with the big slash through the middle, and you just start to hear thunk thunk thunk, and as you're looking around, Spencer, your gunner starts to look around, you see a panel on the ceiling open, and Nicole's engineer leans down and tightens something, and that connection goes away, and you are able to
thank
connect,
God.
and all these
Click.
guns start to fire from these many different spots. Ares 8 trying to cover its most protective parts to not take too much of this damage. Who's next?
I'll go.
All right, the muscle.
In the whole chaos of it, all right, who's ready to end this? I sprint up and try and charge him into the arena wall.
Okay.
Now,
you
I don't
just
want
try
to speak for
sprint up
everyone, but I think we're all ready for it to be done.
All right, you sprint across the space, getting low to just tackle it forward and pin it down so that you can do some serious hurt. The drift is a 1.
Miss.
Miss.
Hit.
Hit! Oh my gosh, it finally happened. All right, cool. There we go. That's great. I feel like poor Stefan has missed 50 times today. I'm glad you got that one. It was very clutch. As you all sprint forwards, the mech stays low, leaps off the back foot, and slams Ares 8 into the wall, and then grabs its legs and slams it down into the ground like a UFC fight. As it goes down to ground. Who's next?
And then I'm gonna chain.
You're gonna chain. All right, Michael's next. Let's see.
Yep.
This could be for all of the. This could be for all of the meatballs.
Yep. What's the?
What are you doing?
I'm with the hopefully the last punch. I'm just from the heavens punching down with our knuckles that say "you lose."
So we see this neon tattoo, ULOSE. It's a little bit too much for the number of fingers. Swings down. All right, I will roll for the drift. The drift's a 1. It's gonna be a toughin'.
Miss.
One hits.
Miss.
Miss.
Oh my good, no saving that.
Yeah.
Miss a hit.
Well,
Can I use my ability? I
Yeah.
haven't used it on this turn, right?
Sure.
All right.
there it is.
Yeah, so what I do is I hack into the force field that the guy's pressed against, and I create a little opening to make their mech fall into it to leverage it for the punch.
Oh, it just gives it that foot of backwards momentum that you need to throw it off. All right, I'm gonna re-roll the drift. 2. It's better.
better.
Miss.
Direct hit.
Hit, miss.
A hit.
Hit.
Miss.
No!
Did anybody roll a
I'm
6 that
sorry.
missed? Nope. All right.
no,
nothing
we
I
see
can
the
do.
like
Sorry.
boom, 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 boom.
It's a miss.
As you swing down and that force field dissipates, it falls back, loses its balance, and then you watch as it rears its foot up. Ares 8 stomps out your front of your mech's leg and sends it falling down onto a knee. That fist slams into the ground and makes this like 10-foot crater in the ground as it slams downwards, not able to find connection. Ares 8 kicks up and stomps you up off of its back and manages to get up, but it doesn't count as a fail because you were still trying to chain successes.
Center of that crater is imprinted. You
It
lose.
says you lose at the bottom of the thing. That's great. All right, who's up?
I think
I think it's you.
it's my turn, right?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So I kind of like I grab one of the computers, like plug it in overdrive. My eyes like just start like flashing like the zeros and ones as I send out like a whole flurry of drones, and all of these ones have like little teeny cameras, and they start peppering every little like joint of the Ares 8 mech, so that like basically every time it does like some motion and is about to move, it like sends that feedback to us so we can relay like the predictive algorithms.
You give
for
it
what
like
it's
what's it
going to
called?
do.
What's it called? Like input reading in boss fights in video games, where it knows what you're gonna do like the
Oh.
minute you hit the button instead of when the animation starts. That's really good. So you can see all of a sudden that base sequence. You can see when the pilots pull levers and hit buttons instead of the other way around. All right, cool. And so you're using this basically to just like outclass and outmaneuver in this final moment. All right, cool. The drift is a 1.
Ooh.
The ones return.
Miss.
Not like this, miss.
Miss.
Miss. Oh,
hit.
no.
Oh.
Nothing to do
All
there.
right, only one hit. Again, we see all this stuff go out as it tries to give you those inputs and feedbacks. You suddenly hear, you just see that there is some communication going on from inside of Ares 8. And then all of a sudden, like drunken master style, you see all of the inputs start to light up. And Ares 8 starts to like sprint out at you, but while it's running, like missiles are firing and like flashers are going off, and they're basically like just spamming every button so that it's not helpful input. As you are trying to read, it's too overwhelming on the screen, and as you come up for air, Ares 8 has this like huge knife, like this like vibro blade that's glowing red hot on the seam and is like shunk shunk, like forcing you back where it's trying to stab into the mech.
I'm gonna
Like-
go through the microphone and say, guys, I really need that. You have
I
to take
need
it down,
that.
please. I need that, please.
All right. I got it.
Engineer screaming, crying, throwing up. I need this.
Yeah, my hacker's eyes start like fizzling a little bit, and like the plug that he has like just starts like sparking too, as like the overload of data just like shoots it out, and I'm just like ah.
All right, as we're mech RPGing it up here, we're so close, you guys. It's gonna be an uphill battle for Ares 8, but I guess it's possible. Who's up first on this round?
I got this next one.
All right, cool. I've got one reroll left, so buyer beware.
I pull both joysticks in this prone position and I yank them backwards, and my seat lifts up, and as it does from the outside, the audience sees the chest that's like a sort of a maw opens up, and there's a cannon fashioned into like a revolver style, and there's a button next to everybody's chair that pops up. And I say, get ready to press the button. And I slam the first one down, and a cannonball, boom, shoots out.
I thought you were gonna say it was just your chair and it's you with a gun. Like,
Die, motherfucker!
That would be so funny. No, we see this giant like 6-shooter mounted in the chest for cannons that just says like the Duke across the center. All right, the drift cocked, landed on my keyboard. The drift is a 5.
Hit.
miss.
Miss.
Hit, miss. All right.
Did anybody roll a 6 per chance?
Mm-mm.
No? All right. Then I don't think it goes. There's nobody that can
All right.
change anything.
So you all watch
This
as this
is a
thing.
new round, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
it's a new
yeah.
round.
Not yet.
This was the
is
last.
new?
So
I
I
thought
can
this was the
change it.
last move. I wasn't sure. I thought I was the last.
I thought
one
you
to
had
go.
done the Gatling one for this round, right?
No,
Yeah.
yeah. This is a new round.
New round? Then yeah.
So I can
somebody
change
can
it,
change it.
yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna get into a little bit of. Okay, so Nicole changes it first. That locks in, and then I make Spencer re-roll.
Okay. What's the drift again?
5.
Hit. A perfect hit.
No! No! That's Aries 8. So as Aries 8 goes to lift, I will ask, how does the engineer get a hand on the ball as this thing is about to, you watch Aries 8 about to like push itself back to get out of the way. What do you do to keep it from running as this huge mounted gun goes off?
I will use all of the drones to go all right behind it and push it towards us.
All right.
Yeah.
So as it goes to push itself back, we all of a sudden see this like big override in the engineer's thing as you pull this lever, and all of the drones from all these other areas fly around, push into its back, and we start to see their thrusters going as hard as they can to the point that the drones are like shaking, panels are coming off of them, and it is pushing Ares 8 forwards just in time for you all to... You all hit these buttons at once, and this huge 6-shooter like these 6 shots go off and blasting through the chest of Ares 8, send it stuttering. It takes a step back and goes to take a step forward and leans and falls on its side, oil like leaking out in this huge pool. You start to see the pilots inside like opening hatches and piling out. One of them is like putting fire. He's like arm and chest is on fire, and he's like patting it out as one of the other ones runs up with like a fire extinguisher to put him out. And muffled from the distance, you hear, "Ladies and gentlemen, oh no, champions!" As you hear the like this roar from the crowd, and the honky tonk coming up with like a bunch of exclamation points on all the screens. You hear the like and like a bunch of horses running for the sound effect for you guys.
Honky Tonk the Donkey Donk is playing, by the way.
Of course it is. With this like wild
and
West
I'm running to
theme
get the
going
knife.
around. You guys run.
Nicole herself is going for that giant.
I jump out of the mech. I'm running for the knife.
You know, this is definitely like an
Start
anime
dragging
tournament.
it.
We see the engineer lifts this like 2-ton knife over their head, yelling triumphantly. And with that, thank you all so much for playing Resonance, a one-page mech RPG for players trying to learn to work together. Super duper fun. We kept the rule snafus to a minimum, and I think pretty solid proof of concept there. If you thought this looked fun, or if you think this looks fun in the future, go check it out on itch.io. Resonance on the Foolhardy Press page. You can also check out The Last Thanksgiving, a turkey-tinged tale of vengeance, our other one-page RPG. If you want to see where we come up with these and a lot of other things, check out our Tuesday stream at 7:30 p.m. You can watch DM Writer's Room, a show where we demystify the DMing process and come up with one-page RPGs, scenarios for other games, and all kinds of fun stuff live. On Mondays, you can catch The Party Makes Things Worse, our actual play stream. And on Sundays, you can catch Game Masters, where we play games we either think we've already mastered or trying to master. Check us out on YouTube for VODs and fun videos. Run on over to TikTok. Maybe you're already there. Check out the videos Spencer makes, and definitely go check us out on Instagram. Spencer's been working over that hot stove for a long time. I think that's everything, unless there's anything I need to add about Resonance. I'm looking at Spencer on my camera here. Did I miss any?
Like, comment, subscribe. Itch.io is where you can find it. The link to get this free game, pay what you want, is in the description below, or you can just find it on itch.io by looking up Foolhardy Press or Resonance, and you can get it there.
MSRP about $500, but it's pay what you
Yeah,
want. So I guess if you want to do less, that's fine. You can do whatever you want. We're a small local team. No, all right. Thank you all so much for watching. We will hopefully catch you on the next stream that you decide to tune in for. Thank you so much, and peace out.